Hi there, I'm just going to show you a few more tips about erasers. You wouldn't think there'd be so many tips about erasers, but they sometimes get pretty dirty. So when you're using them, especially these plastic erasers. So this eraser is what I call a plastic eraser, and the one that's in the end of this other pencil that I showed you, any of these white erasers that are kind of rubbery, I call them plastic erasers. As a retractable one that the whole thing is an eraser. And you can see it on the end of it, it gets pretty grubby. So that can sometimes transfer back onto your paper, especially if you're trying to do really fine work with nice white paper. You don't want that to be transferring back in. So the trick that I use for cleaning these erasers is, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I mean, you can use the trick that I showed you that other day, where you just keep slicing off a new slice off that eraser and use that up until it's all rounded edges, and then throw it away, slice a new slice off the cake. But if you've got one of these and you just want to clean it up, because maybe you like these big ones for erasing large areas in a big drawing. So what I do is I get a bit of canvas. So this is a bit of loose canvas. You may or may not have one of these floating around. You can probably use the back of a blank canvas painting if you've got one that you've bought that's pre-stretched. But we have the canvas on the roll. So this is a really nice gritty texture that's very dry, and it's dry fabric. So that's a really good surface to use, because if you just scrub this on it as if you're erasing, you just scrub the eraser all over it, keep turning the sides, see how clean it gets? So keep on scrubbing on all the sides, and it takes off all of those manky dirty bits of the eraser really, really quickly. So with this trick, with this sort of thing, you might be able to find other sort of stiff but sort of grainy sort of fabrics that you've got floating around. It's a perfect surface as well for cleaning the underside of your computer mouse, believe it or not. You can take your computer mouse and then push it across, really firmly across that surface, and it'll take all that gunk from the bottom of the mouse. So that's how you clean a plastic eraser to nice and pristine and clean. So same thing with these ones in the retractable eraser style, just do that. The other thing you could do is just slice off the end and throw it away, so that'll give you a nice flat sharp thing. That's what I do with this one. So this is my fine eraser. When it gets too grubby on the end there, I just basically slice that little end off, because it's such a tiny amount of eraser. And actually it's really nice to have the eraser come back to brand new, just like when I first bought it. It's a nice sharp end there for erasing little fine details. And you'll see with this one, this has got a bit of staining on the end of it. So I can just grind that away and get all of that yucky stuff off the end of the eraser, and then it won't transfer back onto the paper afterwards. So just like brand new erasers. Another way is, instead of using, if you haven't got a piece of canvas like this, using the back of the piece of canvas, is a bit of sandpaper. If you find really fine sandpaper like this sort of stuff, it's quite fine, but you can still feel it's quite gritty, then that's quite handy. It will take off more chunks of the eraser, so it takes a little bit more off, so that's an alternative. So there's the tip of the day for erasers. So if you would like to have more tips, then go and visit the dojo at Zen and the Art of Art, and you can find more free tips and tricks over there. And please like, share and comment on the video below to help other people to see it. So there you go. Thanks for watching.